I just bought my first rental property at the age of 21. Today we'll be reviewing the entire inspection process that I went through. I am brand new to this game. Let's get right into it. The inspection started at the exterior of the duplex. What you saw in this video was the inspector using his DJI drone to take aerial footage of areas that couldn't be easily accessed or seen. One of these areas included the roof. The roof is a very important part of the building envelope. If you're not familiar with that term, the building envelope is pretty much the shell of your building, and it protects the inside of your home from exterior elements such as wind, rain, and even pests. With that being said, the roof condition presented a great deal risk. I could have easily walked away from this duplex solely on the condition of the roof. Why is that? Because typically roof costs can go over $10,000. And as a 21-year-old college student, I don't think I was ready to pay that. An advantage of this is that the new roof life can sometimes go up to 30 years, but that depends on the quality of the material that you buy. Let's keep going with the video and see what else the inspector had to say.
We're going to look in the basement and see if we see any moisture, because this is here.
Yeah.
This is what we're talking about parging. See how smooth this looks? Okay. See, there's a crack here.
Yeah.
There's a little separation here. This separation is more normal than this. This is more of a crack, but we'll take a look there. But what parging actually is so this is a foundational wall, and the material is probably under here is probably like concrete block or cinder block, as we call it. And they put a thin layer of cement over top of it, which we call parging. That parging protects the concrete block from the weather, number one. Number two, it is aesthetically better looking than concrete block. You also see stair step cracking here, right? Yep. Same type of cracking, right? You see the separation here too. So what this tells me is that this was like a porch. So a little bit of damage here for the fascia. We see the tree is hanging over top of the roof covering, so we don't want that to remain that way either. So we want to cut back this tree branch to prevent premature deterioration of roof covering and downspout and gutter system. And if you look here, just looking at this, look at the landing. See the landing is leaning? It's leaning that way, possibly because this post sunk, right? It wasn't properly supported, so it sunk into the ground. So it caused us to lean down. As you can see, it has the stringer pulling away too. You got a nail coming out here. It's relatively stable, but with this tree covering, you're gonna always have problems with premature deterioration of the deck boards.
So the inspector and I got to the deck, and when I first saw this deck, I immediately had the thought of demoing it. But why though? Well, the deck at the moment is currently in a parking spot, and close to the city, parking is very valuable, you could say. There's a lot of foot traffic, a lot of cars, so I feel like private parking would have made this property more valuable. I'm still thinking this through. It's not a decision that's set in stone. So as time progresses and as we get closer to the end of this project, we're gonna make a final decision on that. But I think that demoing the deck and adding a new parking spot could present a competitive advantage over rental properties in the area. Let's keep going. Once we wrapped up with the exterior inspection, we moved to the first unit. There, the inspector was looking at the functionality of multiple systems. He was making sure that the appliances worked, making sure that the windows and doors properly opened and closed. He also made sure to check the water, electric, and gas systems, which are very important components of a property. I was making sure to pay attention while he was checking these systems, but I also had my perspective where I was looking at the flooring, the finishes, and overall how I could make the property better aesthetically with, of course, coming out of pocket to make these renovations. The ultimate goal is to sell the home, to a renter that wants to stay at this property that you're renovating. So I made sure to think, how can I make this property better to raise the tenant appeal so that when the time comes to rent it out, I wouldn't have a problem finding a renter. Let's keep going.
It's a 2-unit, so and they got 2 separate electric panels, so I wouldn't see it being appraised otherwise. I don't see it. Then again, I don't know everything. I mean, I think I'm pretty wide. I don't know everything. Especially when it comes to it. I'm telling why they do what they do.
Bedroom here. Bathroom. This leads to the basement. For sure needs a lot of work. So we finished in the first unit. All the systems seem to be running the way that they should be. There are some minor adjustments that need to be made, which at the time of this video being shot have already been done, which is great. You're going to be very amazed to see the current condition of this property. A lot of changes have been made, and I can't wait to release those videos over the next coming weeks. Once we finished in the first unit, we moved up to the second unit. We did the same process, except this was a little different for me since I'm going to be staying in the second unit. That gives a little bit of a sneak peek of the next video that I'll be releasing on house hacking. Let's keep going with the video. Going up here into the first.
I just wanted, because I know. Oh, was she? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, perfect. Perfect. You just had her name spelled wrong. Matter of fact.
Yes.
That would be what you call peeling paint.
In that closet?
Same thing with that bathroom. That's what that is. That crack is peeling paint. Only if it's a big deal. I mean, I don't see it as a big deal. Still cosmetic. Peeling paint in a situation like that says to me it's latex. And it's coming off, which happens.
So the result of the overall inspection, I obviously went through with the deal. Since I'm talking about it now, I think it was too good of an opportunity to miss out on, especially on the goal that I have of the house hacking strategy, which I'll be breaking down very soon. The roof, unfortunately, did have to be replaced, but I was fortunate enough to have a connection to a roofer, which gave me a below market price. So I got that replaced and it's been taken care of. Major systems were good overall, and the renovations are still in progress. Another very important part of this entire process, if you're looking to get into it, is your cost tracking. I have developed spreadsheets which have allowed me to track every single transaction, every single cost that I have done to renovate this property from the very beginning of it. So I'll be dropping videos on that soon and sharing my templates and my strategies on making sure that you're not going over budget. Construction and real estate go hand in hand, and that's what we'll be discussing in future videos. If you're interested, be on the lookout for those videos. I appreciate you for tuning in, and let's keep going.